T1. And they round things out with a Poppy once more.
It's what we talked about in the previous game. The Poppy is also great into the Cassante. Last time,
Oscar against Gen G.
Exactly. They don't want to go for it.
I think he was trying to catch
one, though.
I think
got it.
I think he was trying to catch Faker off for sure. Doesn't have the TP, so he's likely going to stay to catch this wave. He's been taking a few poor trades against Faker.
Well, you think Faker's flash was burnt early doors, and since then, Faker's actually been in the lead, both health and CS-wise. Yike still looking for mid. Faker still a quarter of the cooldown left on his flash, but he can just dash across the wall. Grub's taken by Owner. Caps no shot.
Carrier, level 6. Mickey very far behind in terms of XP. All the early objectives are going T1 to 8. G2's options feel very...
We talked about how tough it can be for Hansama to play some of the later game fights. Same for Guma, honestly, because he is playing against a whole lot of aggressive backline threat.
Carrier able to magical journey his way to safety. G2 got the bot side Scuttle Crab, but meanwhile Owner is taking the 5th, 6th grub for T1. And they also got the first Drake. Neutral control very much in T1's favor in this game so far.
Oh, completely. And you can see it.
I'm good.
Let me be. Though, down to half HP. Faker does have the flank position here. No Emperor's Divide, remember, as Owner goes in. Crescent Guard flash away from the Chain of Corruption. Immediately Yike and Caps try to dive on a Faker, but Hansama's already fallen. Hostile takeover lands on 2 first blood. Goes over to T1. They find a second. The cosmic binding from Carrier is just sublime. And now Caps knocked up, tries to flash, but there's no way he's getting away from Owner today. Or is he? As he continues to walk away, has to dodge, the wind becomes lightning. Owner gonna tank the tower. Audacious charge is enough as Yike falls as well. It's 4-1 T1.
And just like
much in a hole, T1, this is kind of more of what we expected from them in this series. Getting out to an early lead, 4,000 gold there.
Yeah. So obviously his champion pool is as wide as league goes, but hold up.
Hits. Hostile takeover is going to be popped. Yushi's going to be caught in the back of it. Broken Blade with a flank position. Yike with a double knocker, but Caps not quite here yet for G2. The Tempered Fate buys a second. Carrier's going to be the first of all as G2 continue the battle. Faker in with the Emperor's Divide, but Faker low. Zeus on that front line though can tank for days. Broken Blade can't quite land the stun into the wall, but the shockwave. Pathmaker out. Zeus survives. Living Artillery just short. From G2, they find one, only Carrier falls.
Okay, so G2 actually win a fight there. The TP from Faker doesn't really result in much, and it opens up this mid tower. Some bounty gold will go back to G2.
Getting him in a better position could have been big as Guma.
Guma, Yushi, no summoners on him. Chain of Corruption goes wide, and Guma's just down.
And is collapsed on by G2. Crucially, they give that shutdown over to Hans.
Faker going in. Titanic Hydra, not enough. The shockwave onto Faker. Yike dashing away, but Owner's here and will happily accept that kill. Carrier with another Cosmic Binding. Hansama trying to close in from the side, but he knows that Owner's on his way.
In fact, the gold lead though still 4K in favor, and the Hextech Soul specifically is one that I don't think you can afford to give soul points to. Zeus alone here.
Doesn't have the Ghost, has the Pathmaker. Steadfast Presence locked him up for a second. Broken Blade chasing in. Void Rush, Caps collapsing. Owner's on his way, but can Zeus survive for long enough? The all-out might not be enough as Caps lands a shockwave on 2, and now Owner with a bounty on his head in the middle of 3 members of G2. Caps flashes out of vision, and Owner has to flash away. Collapsing though, T1 come in. Guma Yushi there first. Yike dashes away from the Chain of Corruption. Owner falling low, but the piercing arrow from Guma Yushi never misses its mark.
Invested to the top side by G2.
Faker secures a tower in the bot lane and gets another.
I understand for G2, but T1 going to be very happy about that.
G2 in the hole right now. 2 items on Owner.
Silver Scrapes to bring us to a game 5.
Mickey seen here.
TP
behind. Hansama has 2 items. Yike goes in. They look for Owner first. Crescent Guard popped by Flash. Broken Blade might go for Guma. Can knock him into the wall. Carrier though's going to spot him. Steadfast Presence going down as the Sundisk is used. Flash from Mickey with a hostile takeover, but it only lands onto the Azir. Yike trying to do what he can in the middle of the fight. His Owner's already down to half HP, but Yike and Mickey and G2 have to retreat because gold from Carrier. The shockwave only lands on 1. It's Owner, not the target that G2 wanted. And Baker has had enough. He slides G2 into the waiting moors of his team as T1 look to take us to match point.
Oh, this is the classic T1. You think you're fine? The geometry of that fight with the Bard, the TPs. But in the end, at the very least, they're going to get the inhib. But knowing them, I'm feeling it, they're going to try and bring us to back-to-back Silver Scrapes.
There is something inevitable about Faker. There is something indomitable about T1. Mickey comes up alive, 8 seconds on Hansama. No minion wave here for T1, but they have the might to try and help out. The wave about 5 seconds away. Hansama will respawn in time. T1 take the gate out and have a little patience.
The shockwave was barely impactful. Caps? Caps! He completely whiffs the shockwave, doesn't even send the ball.
It's quintessential.
It's about to bring us to another silver scrapes, and man, what a treat it's been.
And what a turnaround, an absolute stomp from start to finish from T1, reminding the world why they are so feared. They're continuing the siege, good damage from Guma, forces G2 back as they chip away at this tower.
There have been 9 5-game series in MSI history. We might get 2 in a row. In fact, I think it's pretty much certain now as T1 push in for the top lane inhibitor. G2 have half a Nexus tower to try and defend. Broken Blade, Steadfast Presence will stop Owners engage. Gumayushi down to half HP. Zeus pulled back with a handshake, but he's tanky enough. G2 looking for any last vestige of hope. Sending up prayers. Looking for a miracle. Broken Blade finds one perhaps as Owners locked up. He flashes the wall. All they're going to do is buy a little time here. But time is swiftly running out. Kronos himself is playing for T1, and Faker goes in again. Stopwatches the tempered fate from Carrier. In fact, the Serema slide was not enough. The shockwave from G2 will do nothing as T1 assert their dominance on the series and take us to Silver Scrapes.
5 games, you wouldn't have it any other way.